Hello everyone and welcome to your favorite podcast, The Comadres. We are your hosts, Charbel and Angela. Before we begin, how are you, Charbel?
Hi everyone, I'm doing great. I hope you and everyone listening are doing well too.
Great! So now that we are all set, we should jump right into it.
So you already know that every week we talk about a different topic that you guys suggest to us, and this week we will be talking about Grice's cooperative principle. Shout out to our teacher for suggesting this topic.
First, we're going to explain what this principle consists of. Grice explained that to have a good conversation, all participants must cooperate to achieve effective and efficient communication. The people who are part of the conversation must adjust language and their behavior so that the message is clear, relevant, and appropriate to the context.
So Grace basically described how to have an efficient conversation, right? While I was doing my research on this principle, I discovered that Grice also explained that his principle is divided into four conversational maxims, which we will explain in a moment. We will also mention a couple of examples for each principle so that you guys can identify them in your everyday life.
The first is the maxim of quantity, which is used to provide necessary information without going overboard. The correct way to use this maxim would be, "Hello, what time is it?" "Oh, it's 3 in the afternoon."
Oh, I understand. So, an example of not using this maxim would be if I ask the same question, but the other person answers with, well, it's 3 in the afternoon. The sky is somewhat cloudy and it seems like it will rain soon.
Exactly. There, we would not be applying the maxim correctly, since we provide information that no one asked us about.
Next up is the maxim of quality, which highlights that we should not say something that we know is false or facts without evidence. The correct way to use this maxim would be, hey, what's the capital of India? The capital of India is New Delhi.
So in order not to follow the maxim of quality, we would have to be telling a lie, right?
Yes, for example, if I ask you what did you have for breakfast and you answer with an apple, but in reality you know that you had nothing for breakfast, then you are violating this maxim.
The next maxim is a maxim of relevance, which explains that we should be relevant to the topic of discussion. For example, right now, if we're talking about Grice's cooperative principle and you comment about yesterday's Oscars, then it would be totally irrelevant because we're not talking about movies. However, if next week's topic is about movies, then we will be discussing the categories and the winners at the Oscars, and we will be following the maximum of relevance.
I know you said I shouldn't mention them, but I was surprised how the movie Anora swept at the Oscars. They won 5 out of 6 nominations.
Well, you just violated the maximum of relevance. But everyone, please request the Oscars to be next week's topic, so we respect this last maxim.
Last but not least is the maxim of manner, which encourages speakers to be clear, concise, and orderly in their expression. We should avoid using vague or overly complex words that we know our listeners won't understand. For example, we are having a conversation and I say, I'm writing an essay on metonymy. It's a type of figure of speech. I am fulfilling the maxim of manner because I explained the term metonymy, which is not a word we use in our everyday vocabulary. However, if I were to say this exact term and not explain it, even though I see the confusion on others' faces, then I would not be following this maxim.
I wish everyone could follow the maxim of manner, because some people think we all know the vocabulary they use in their work field or study field.
I know, right?
What do you think, guys? Do you follow all the maxims Grice explained? If not, which one do you break?
Oh my god, I think I sometimes fail to follow the maxim of relevance. As you guys noticed, I sometimes bring up topics that I want to talk about even if they don't have much to do with the current topic.
That's funny, because I think whenever we are together, we switch topics every 5 minutes, and then we come back to the topic we didn't finish talking about. So we should try to get better at following the maxim of relevance.
Yeah, we should try. So guys, we hope you all learned something new today, but most of all, we hope you enjoyed the topic and let us know on our channel your thoughts on this principle and its maxims. Angela, do you want to add something before we go?
Nothing special, just to remind our listeners to leave next week's topic in the comments and to thank them for joining us in our podcast.